Forever. Dog.
They shared her terrible secret, but could they get away with murder? This week on the podcast, R.L. Stine's The Overnight.
Welcome to Teen Creeps, the podcast that discusses YA pulp fiction. I'm one of your hosts, Lindsay Katai.
I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly Nugent.
And Happy New Year.
Burr, burr, burr.
It's our first recorded episode.
Okay, great.
Of 2022.
Yeah, first time we sat down in 2022 to record.
Yep. The episode that came out last week was recorded before Christmas.
I'm sure people could tell we had like pre-holiday energy.
Yeah, probably. We may even have talked about it.
Oh, yeah, maybe, because we don't really think about when these things come out.
Yeah, except for right now when I'm talking about it.
Yeah. And it is 2022.
Yeah.
Nothing feels
to
different.
It. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
You know what? I'll be hopeful. Why not? What do I have to lose?
I mean, it's gotta be getting back to normal, right?
You gotta, right? We gotta.
Just like
something's gotta give.
Can't do this anymore.
Like collectively, right?
My goodness, we are just running on fumes. Yeah.
I just feel like everyone in the world needs to just be like, you know what? We got to do what we got to do to make this, to make a change. I'm going to start with the man in the mirror. And that's why I'm really glad that you're here today, because I wanted to talk exclusively about Michael Jackson.
Get this year off on the right foot by talking about Michael Jackson.
No, we're talking about The Overnight.
We're talking about The Overnight by R.L. Stine. This is like a very early entry into Fear Street. I think third, it looks like.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It sucked.
Yeah, I really did.
It really sucked shit. Major shit. But this, I will say you can feel that it's new because he's not really having fun yet. The characters are...
It does definitely feel more like point horror Stine than Fear Street. Even though Suki's on the scene.
Suki's on the scene.
Who knew?
The punky slut bitch.
Mm-hmm. Punky slut bitch of Shady Side.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to say. I thought... I had hopes. As I was reading it, I was like, maybe something cool will happen. The abject rage that coursed through my veins upon discovering the quote twist, I guess. Yeah. Like the absolute disgust that I felt. I was like, really? Really?
This book took some real lateral turns. Every turn, I was like, this somehow got more boring with this twist. No, the twist is worse. I feel worse off now.
The twist should have been the red herring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should have been the thing that we were like, but also like, it didn't make sense at all. This very strange medical condition that this man has that allows him to get away. To get away with murder,
oh my
literally.
God, I forgot that it was a medical condition that allowed him to get away with it.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me give us a baseline. Yeah, I'm gonna read the back of the book. Welcome to Fear Street. Don't listen to the stories they tell you about Fear Street. Wouldn't you rather explore it yourself and see if its dark terrors and unexplained mysteries are true? You're not afraid, are you? Nightmare Island. Nothing bad will happen, Della O'Connor assures her friends. In the Outdoors Club, this club sounded terrible as shit.
So lame. What is the point of this club? And why are there so few students in it?
I love the outdoors. I love the outdoors. If I was in an outdoors club and it consisted of me hanging out in a classroom with like 3 other students. Okay, did you ever go to like a club meeting when you were like in high school or college and you didn't really know what the club was going to be like? And you show up and you're like, oh no, there are way too few people for me to just ditch. And how long is this meeting? And I have to sit through this. And it's so depressing that this thing exists.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been watching John Wilson's How To on HBO?
What?
Oh my God. It's so good. I really recommend it.
Have you recommended it before?
Have I?
I don't know. It sounds vaguely familiar.
It's very, very, very good. It's just this guy has like thousands of hours of just documentary footage of just people in New York. And he constructs like a narrative each episode. So like one is like how to become, I forgot specifically, but it's like how to become more spontaneous. And then so he like talks about different lessons that he's learned or like things about his life. And then he just lines up footage that he's shot under it of just these people in New York that just happens to like go along with what he might be saying, sometimes literally, sometimes figuratively. And then he'll do like these little pieces where he'll interview people or he'll do some kind of like experience where he's like, you know, he'll show up at some like pyramid scheme thing and like they will be so happy to have him there to take video and he'll use it. There's like a Nexium crossover at one point. There's like, he goes to this one Avatar fan club. And I'm, as somebody who like is a fan of things, like I like, you know, I'm not saying that
I'm
they're
a
like,
fan of things.
Like I'm a fan of things.
There are things that I like.
And I'm so happy that this club exists.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm so happy that this club exists for these people.
Look, I'm so happy for them.
No, truly, right? Because they talk about like
that, what is that tweet is like that or somebody posted a text or something on Twitter. It's like, that's a lot of words. I ain't got time to read all that.
Yeah.
But, so I'm either very sorry or I'm happy for you.
Yes. It's like, so he shows up and there's like probably 6 or 7 people there. And it's just very like, I'm so glad this club exists because like I feel like subcultures, you know, are amazing and should thrive. And it's so cool that you can find people that, you know, find like things that you like. And however, it was extremely bleak. Just there was one thing that specifically was extremely bleak to me. So everything else seemed like not that bleak. It was like, okay, there's like these like 6 to 8 people that are really, really, really into the Avatar movie. Mm-hmm. And they all speak.
Oh, that Avatar.
Yes, Na'vi. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they all like sit, it's like a support group. Like they sit and talk about how they became very depressed after they finished watching the movie Avatar because
these people.
Yeah, I think it's called like, I forget what it's called, but you should definitely
like
watch
this phenomenon. I haven't heard, not these specific people, but like this phenomenon of people wishing that they lived on Pandora.
Yes. Because it is this beautiful, fantastical world where like you can be anything you want to be and like you're not constrained to the body that you have now. And
you're living off the land. There's a community. Yeah.
And so like, you know, a lot of them were talking about how like after they finished watching it, they became extremely depressed. They had to find another person that was also an Avatar fan so that way they could talk each other through that kind of depression. And like, I've been there after I finished watching Buffy for the first time. I remember I was depressed because I was like, oh, I don't get to like hang out with these characters anymore, you know?
Yeah, you miss
your friends.
Them. Yeah.
But okay, so the bleakest part of it to me, so they have this snack table and it's all like just blue things. Like it's all just like blue Powerade.
Oh boy.
Like a blue cake. And then
not even like the Na'vi only.
No. The thing that really, really bummed me out though was that on there was a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, which themselves are not even blue. It's just the bag. So like that, I was like very like, oh God. So that was the vibe I got from the Outdoors Club. Was like, oh God.
Oh boy.
And like
this is sparse.
Yeah, this is sparse. Like, can you imagine walking into the Outdoors Club and realizing that that's what that is and being like, oh fuck, there's like 6 people in here. I cannot just leave. I'm just gonna sit here and then just never come again, obviously. But like, and but then like, the weird teacher.
Now this is my next hour.
Yes,
to 2 hours.
And you're gonna be haunted by memories of that club meeting for your life. You know, where you're just like, Jesus Christ, this is
and
sad.
The sadness that just like settles into your bones.
Yes, it's like deep within you, and it will not leave.
Kind of like the pandemic.
Yes. So like the Outdoors Club was like the pandemic, but like, you know, in a week or whatever. Okay, hold on. I have to finish reading. I'm sorry I got so distracted, but do check out How To with John Wilson.
Yeah, sounds really interesting.
It's really, really interesting. It's also just like so many examples of just like how funny and interesting humanity is. I really, really recommend it. Okay. So anyway, they're going to go outdoors club. Nothing bad will happen, Della O'Connor assures her friends in the outdoors club. So what if their advisor can't go on the overnight to Fear Island? Won't it be more fun with no adults around? But it's no fun at all when Della gets lost in the woods and the dangerous stranger appears, whispering threats, driving her to a violent act. Suddenly, all her friends are involved, prisoners in a conspiracy of silence, trying to conceal the terrible truth. But someone saw what Della did, and he's threatening them all, forcing them back to Fear Island to find the evidence they forgot to bury.
That, like, driving her to a violent act thing is so misleading.
Yeah, it's so bad. I thought she, like, strangled a man.
Yeah, I didn't know. I straight up thought, reading the back of this book, that, like...
That she killed one of her friends?
That, yeah, she, like, killed one of her friends, and I was starting to think it was, like, Yellow Jacket's, like, spirit of the woods possessed her or something.
Yes.
But no. Nope. It's just, like, a fucking weirdo.
A hot
drifter,
weirdo.
A hot drifter weirdo she encounters in the woods, just like keeps bullying her to the point where she like pushes him in self-defense and he falls off a ledge.
Well, yeah, he was definitely gonna like molest her, right?
Yeah, something bad, real bad was going down. So like, yeah, you pushed him away from you and you should have.
Yeah.
You were
honestly
extremely justified.
You know who I feel like was the one person that made them like, because everyone was ready to be like, okay, it was self-defense. Like, we can just tell the cops. It's fine. There was one person who I think is the villain of this fucking book.
Maia
Maia should have died in those fucking woods.
Maia sucks.
I
what
hated
a terrible friend.
Terrible.
I understand that her parents are so strict with her that she like fears their disapproval more than anything. But she was a narcissist. To deal with that. You are now making your trauma everyone else's trauma.
Well, and she's being a fucking narcissist. Like, like the fact that like her friend, her best friend, because here's what, I'm speaking as someone who had insanely strict parents. If that shit happened to me, I would have been like, okay, but like we should tell, like I'll deal with that shitstorm when it happens.
Yep. Her friend was attacked.
Yeah. And when her friend was like,
all she can think about is like whether her parents are going to find out. And it's like, it didn't even happen to you. This did not happen to you.
Because literally there's a part where, so our main character, Della, she's like freaking out and crying because she thinks she's just killed a man. And she's like, fuck. And she was attacked. So it's like this whole thing. And she's like so upset. She's crying. And all the other kids are like, oh, fuck, what do we do? Maia starts crying. The second Maia started crying, I was like, this bitch is trouble. Yep. She starts crying and she's like, my parents are going to kill me. Keep that in your heart. It's fine for you to think that.
Mm-hmm. That is fine
your first
to be
thought,
a concern.
Yeah.
But it's not the main concern.
No. And your first thought isn't, oh shit, my friend like fucking killed someone, like, oh no. But your first thought is like,
is of herself.
Me, my parents.
Yeah.
I hated her.
Boo. Maia sucks. Maia's the villain.
Complete
None
villain.
of this would have happened if Maia had been supportive. They could have just reported this to the police. It would have been sorted out. They would have figured out that the dude wasn't even fucking dead.
No. It was truly all of Maia's fault. Everything can be traced to Maia.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I agree.
Thank you. I'm glad that you agree.
Yeah.
I also felt like maybe, and I know that the book was trying to make me think this, and frankly, I'm disappointed that the book didn't go there. I thought that the teacher had something to do with it.
Me too.
Because he was being weird.
When they didn't even Della didn't even listen to his reason.
Yeah.
The story of his family emergency. I thought for sure it had something to do with that rich guy.
Yeah.
Getting offed.
Yeah. And yeah, I even went back and looked to see if maybe he was saying that his family was in Austin or wherever they find out that the crime happened.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't anything. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2022, why are you still paying huge amounts of money every month for wireless? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you maximize your savings with plans starting at just $15 a month. Oh my God, you guys, I scream at everybody I know about Mint Mobile. You could be saving so much money. It makes it so easy to make good on your savings resolution because you get the same service as big wireless at a fraction of the cost. By going online only and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes on significant savings to you. All the plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. With Mint Mobile, choose the amount of monthly data that's right for you. Stop paying for data that you never use. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/teencreeps. That's mintmobile.com/teencreeps. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/teencreeps. Sometimes doing less can lead to so much more. Dipsea Stories believes in less analyzing and more feeling your feelings. Less stressing and more easing into things. Less scrolling and more savoring the moment. Less pressure and more pleasure. I love Dipsea Stories. It's an app full of sexy audio stories, and now they even have brand new written stories. No matter who you're into or what turns you on, Dipsea helps bring the stories to life. Anytime, anywhere. Literally, you can find anything. Close your eyes and let yourself get lost in a world where only good things happen and pleasure is your only priority. And you can explore your fantasies in a safe, shame-free way. You know I'm always saying, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. This way, you can yum your yum as much as you want. There are hundreds of stories to choose from, and they release new content every week, so there's always more to explore. And they also have wellness sessions to help you wind down and explore, and sleep sessions to help you drift off. For Teen Creeps listeners, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/teencreeps. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/teencreeps. dipseastories.com/teencreeps. So he's like so intent on them going back to the woods, like so intent, because he doesn't know that they actually went without him. Fine, to his credit.
The way he is so petulant about it, though.
I know.
About them not being excited about the trip anymore because they already went and killed a guy.
I know. Also, when he's like, oh, wow, so you guys don't really want to go out there. I mean, it's fine. And they're like, well, we have stuff planned. Because literally he's like, hey, why don't we go like at the end of this week instead? And they're like, well, we didn't really plan for that.
Yeah,
like
we
my
have
family
other things going on.
And he's like, well, I moved stuff around.
Like, these children are fully in charge of their own lives. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, like if their parents say they can't go, they can't go.
And they have
They're
like
not
extracurricular activities, and also like sometimes the moment has passed, sir.
Yeah, seriously, maybe they just don't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's like, oh, like, so you guys don't want to go, blah blah. So he's like, whatever about that. But then when they're out in the woods, and he like, do you remember when? So he has them all split up to like go look for wood for the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And Della and the boy she likes. What is it?
Pete. It's Ricky, Suki. Gary is her ex, who's now seeing Suki. Yeah, Pete.
So when
and Randy. Fucking Randy. Jesus. Also, is there someone named Ricky?
Oh, Ricky.
Oh, it's not Randy.
It's Ricky.
Yeah.
So
God,
then,
what a pathetic club.
It really pathetic club.
It's so small. And
it's
what
so
is
small.
there? What is the point of the outdoors club? What is
I
the
guess
point of it? They just go
one
like
trip?
be in it.
Because that's the other thing. It's not a hiking club. It's not.
Yeah, they're not like studying plant life. They're just like about taking trips outdoors.
Because that's the other thing.
Now and then,
when Ricky comes in and does his prank, which
I do hate Ricky.
I hate Ricky. Also, I thought Ricky should have like died in a fire, but he didn't. He was fine. But when Ricky does his joke of like bringing the leaves in class and like rubbing them on Gary,
saying they're poison oak
and being like, identify this. And then Gary can't identify it, and Gary thinks that it's poison oak, which if you're in an outdoors club, and I guess your thing is to look at plants all the time, you should know if something's poison oak or not. It's pretty easy to identify. Like,
and it's like, that's Ricky's point, but at the same time, at no point is it implied that that is a thing they do. Ricky is just like, you should know it. And it's like, are you studying it?
Right. And like, at what, like, when did you guys study the plants? Last week or whatever?
But then, like, Gary's reaction is insane.
I mean, the fact that he then jumps to extreme violence.
Yes.
Is hilarious.
And this is not addressed.
No, everyone's just like, wow. Gary got really mad.
Wow, Ricky shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
If Ricky didn't want leaves, like, shoved down his throat.
Yeah. Leaves
while,
that
Gary sits on him.
While Gary thought that it was poison oak. So he thought he was shoving poison oak down Ricky's throat, which could kill him.
If it was, in fact, that extreme. I'm trying to find...
He, like, tackles him to the ground.
Really... Oh, here it is. Gary angrily jumped up from his chair. The leaves still gripped tightly in his hand. Ricky tried to get away, but Gary was too fast for him. He wrestled Ricky down to the floor and started rubbing the leaves on Ricky's face and forehead. Ricky was laughing and screaming at the same time, struggling helplessly to get away. Della, Suki, Pete, and Maia were loudly cheering Gary on. And then the teacher comes in. And Gary is like panting from the effort of this.
Did you feel like that scene was sexually charged? I felt like it was very sexually charged.
No, I was just concerned about Gary's violent tendencies.
I was like, maybe something hormonally was happening with me. Because I was like, oh, what's going to happen here? Even though I knew this is an R.L. Stine book and they're very sexless and whatever. Nothing happens. But, what was I mentioning before? It was something about...
sorry.
No,
identifying,
I got distracted. Just identifying
things.
plants.
Or the teachers.
The teacher. That's right. So he's like, let's look for firewood, everybody. Okay, everybody split up. We're going to look for firewood. And Della is trying to find, oh my God.
Della and Pete are going to break off and find the like zap paint gun of Ricky's that she was holding when she pushed the random dude off
into a ravine.
Yeah, off the cliff.
And so she's like,
that's why they agreed to go back with the teacher.
Yeah, because they were like, well, we got to find that zap gun anyway. Which,
the way everybody rallies around Della, though, except for Maia, especially Suki, is admirable.
I did like that. And I honestly, another admirable part, when Della was like, when she realized, like, oh, I don't give a fuck about Gary anymore. Like, I like him just fine, but like, I don't feel jealous anymore. Like, I have my own shit going on. I liked that.
And she, even though she was jealous in the beginning, before she came to that realization, she was like, you know what? I did break up with Gary. I don't really have a right to say that Suki is like being a slut.
A complete skankaroo.
Mm-hmm.
But so the teacher's like, okay, everybody split up. Let's go find firewood. And so they do. And then, and this is when Della's like, okay, we should like go, Della and Pete are like, let's go find the zap gun. And then the teacher like pops up out of a fucking bush and is like, where are you two off to?
Not too far.
And he's like, I don't know. No touchy in the woods.
Yeah, that was weird.
And I was like, okay. But then Della has the thought, oh, well, why is he so far in the woods? And I was like, correct. Why is he so far in the woods? That's dropped. Doesn't matter because he's not.
Yeah, like, the thing is, I don't even feel like it should be that's just trying to paint him as a red herring. But I almost feel like R.L. Stine isn't even using that to make him a red herring. It's just like a weird thing.
I know, it's not, it doesn't feel, it just feels like, oh, why is he back there? It was just like an obstacle to them.
Yeah, to them getting the zap gun.
And then I thought for sure it was Maia because it was Maia stuck alone with the teacher, which were you getting? I know that we just mentioned Yellow Jackets. Were you getting Misty and the coach vibes?
Misty and the coach vibes for sure.
Oh my God.
And then he gets hit on the head and she's like cradling his head in her lap.
I know.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, Misty and the coach.
Get Misty away from that coach.
Oh my God.
Why is no one doing anything about
Dying
this?
Laughing that everyone just acts like he does not fucking exist and just leaves him to be like harassed by Misty. Also,
she's clearly like going to molest this man I guess they have a lot on their plate, but
they do. But like, he's literally feet away from them, and they're just like,
it is very funny.
They're just
how much free reign Misty is given over this coach.
It's
because nobody else wants to deal with it.
No one, exactly. Because also they're like,
she stepped up, cut off that leg, and she is taking responsibility.
Well, also they're like, this is another thing. He's something that's occupying Misty, right? So
very
she's
true. They don't want to deal with Misty.
Exactly.
Misty's a lot.
Okay, but were you dying laughing? I was dying laughing when he's like, Misty, I have feelings for you too, and I
haven't gotten there yet.
Oh my god! 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 Oh, it is so fucking funny. No, it's really fucking funny. You need to watch it. It's so like, I have never seen someone. I mean, the delivery of it. This actor, I'm like, props. You are like, it's so funny. It's so just.
Yeah, I need to. I haven't been feeling well lately, and so I have just been binging Queer Eye. All Queer Eye.
Listen,
all the time.
I love Queer Eye, and I love that new season.
It's like, great. I don't want a story. I just want to watch people's lives be transformed. And I did. Yeah, I loved that new season.
Really,
it brought me back in.
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
we talked about how we were both flagging on the show.
Yeah,
something about time away. Just time away
makes the heart go fonder.
Also, Anthony has been unfairly maligned.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I think he's improved. I think he's improved.
Stepped up his recipe game, but he has always been unfair. I think he has always had a good personality, and the internet has done him wrong.
Yeah, no, I think he has a funny, silly personality, and I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And his like little weird, very specific jokes, I think, haven't been appreciated enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know why? Because here's the thing: people immediately their eyes go to Jonathan Van Ness. Why? Big personality.
He's a star.
Of course
they do.
A star. So then they forget what are the little intricacies of everyone. Mm-hmm. Everyone has their own little. Because honestly, I actually really like Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
I really love Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bobby should have his own show because he's like clearly like.
I mean, Bobby's always doing the most.
He's doing them. He's building a fucking house. Okay, yes. He's building
a
house.
Like if nobody else has been able to make the person cry, seeing what Bobby has done makes them cry.
Yes. Sorry, because I'm thinking of like home transformation shows, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, like all of them. It's making someone's dreams come true. I was watching. This is another thing that I like to watch, which is Gogglebox, which you would like that right now if you're okay. If you don't want a story, Gogglebox, they're on YouTube. It's just watching British people watch TV. It's fantastic.
What?
It's so good, Lindsay. They find the best stuff for them to be watching. It's so funny. I love all these people. Like truly, like they watch different things that are airing on Channel 4 throughout the week. And then so like one time there was like Final Destination.
Gogglebox couple has confirmed their split after 7 years.
Oh my God. I wonder who it is.
Over sexting scandal.
What? Oh my God. I mean, my favorite is this. Who is it?
It is
I'm gonna die
Denise and Eddie.
Denise and Eddie. Hold on.
Celebrity Gogglebox favorites Denise Van Outen and fiance Eddie Boxshall have confirmed their split.
Wait. Oh, I wonder if. Oh, that's Celebrity Gogglebox. Do not watch Celebrity Gogglebox. I don't think it's as good.
It never is.
Yeah, I don't know who these fucking people are.
Wow.
Watch the normal people. Okay, watch the normal people. My favorite duo is probably it's this brother sister duo. They're so funny. The boy just had a baby. And a baby, and the girl. I don't think I've ever seen.
There's a child version called Goggle Sprogs.
Goggle Sprogs.
Weird thing. There's a version featuring 16 to 24-year-olds as they watch online content. Vlogglebox.
Oh my God, no! OG Gogglebox. There's like these people are so fucking funny and very specific, and they're not trying too hard. They're really really funny. But anyway, so they watch all these different things. Like one time they were watching Final Destination, and a lot of it's like older people watching. And so they're always like, oh, she's in a bad way. And this lady's head is like getting chopped off. It's so funny. But they were watching this one reality show that was like these people taking over and being like, we're going to give you the bedroom of your dreams or whatever. And the lady's like, I like pink. And so they like, and it's like you trade, it's like best friends trade and do each other's rooms and like with the help of a designer. So this one lady's like, I like pink. And then they like, so they redo the room. But what they do is they just get like different colors of pink and purple and just like splatter it on the walls. And it looks like complete dog shit. And everyone is just like all of the viewers are so openly disgusted. It's so funny. I really, if you're looking for some like, this is nothing like my brain is completely off and I'm just watching people be like sweet and funny. Gogglebox. It's so fucking good. And I think there are some Gogglebox fans in our viewer or in our listenership because I've connected with some listeners about Gogglebox. Gogglebox stands. I need you to make yourself known. Tweet at us at Teen Creams Pod. Tell us about your Gogglebox love. Who is your favorite Gogglebox person?
I'm reading that the best way for us to watch Gogglebox is just to use a VPN and act like we're in the UK and go to the Channel 4 website.
Oh, that's smart. I've just been using YouTube because they're all on YouTube.
Oh, they are? Well, then that's...
Well, so here's the problem.
Oh, they're all like pirated.
Yeah.
It's not like actual...
Yeah, it's just some person uploading them.
So
it's not great to do.
Thank you for that person, but yeah, if you really want to like be able to watch it fully... Yes. Just use a VPN.
Because also sometimes they don't upload quickly enough or whatever. I do have a VPN, so I'll just do that.
Yeah.
But I really recommend it. It's quite good. And you get to know the people and like them and stuff. It's really funny.
What a strange concept.
It's such a strange concept. I love it. I also love Taskmaster. I've told you about it, I think. Another really, really good.
Yes,
I feel
you have talked about that. I have yet to watch for some reason.
It's fun. It's great. I like it a lot. And I think there are also listeners who like that show as well. But anyway, those are my recs. I feel like I always give like very panicked recommendations every episode of Teen Creeps.
That's all there is to do.
Seriously.
But Maia, Mr. Abner, Misty, and Coach vibes.
Yes. Complete Misty and Coach vibes, truly. Because the way she gloms onto him and shit, I was
She's just like so eager not to take part in this search, which makes it seem like she had something to do with it.
Yes. She was acting so shady.
Maia's just like, she has not developed empathy for others.
And the fact that Della goes over to her fucking house and is like, okay, I guess I should be here for Maia. And Maia still is just a fucking drip the entire time. I was like...
she's just a mess of it. She's like freaking out because she's sure her parents know, but she has no evidence indicating that they know. She's just having a fucking fit. Meanwhile, Della killed somebody and is trying to recover from that trauma and needs Maia's silence.
Yeah.
Ugh, Maia.
And also Maya's got her like creepy little girl's room and shit. Yeah. It's like, oh God.
It is fascinating how Della is like, oh, I think maybe I don't like Maia.
Yeah, I loved that. I was like, we all
best
have.
Friend, she's like, oh, I never really realized how truly like stuck in Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Maia is. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It is
weird. Weird, Della.
But so basically, like they go to this. So, all right, here do you mind if I do like a rapid fire? This is what happened.
Mind, I appreciate it.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best, and if I miss something, please interject because I don't really remember this book. Okay, so Della, she's in high school. She's like, oh my God, I miss being with Gary. I dumped him because why did I dump him? I don't know.
She got like mad at him one day and broke up with him and didn't think he'd take it seriously.
Oh yeah, but guess what? He did. And he's palling around with Suki. And she's like, oh God, what a day. The only thing that will make me better is to go to Outdoors Club. So she goes to Outdoors Club and it's her, Gary, who she keeps trying to like catch the eye of, but sorry, Della, he now is fully
gelled into that spiky platinum blonde hair,
which is on the cover actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is fully into the hilt into Suki, okay? They are full on, like, she cannot penetrate.
Macking.
They're macking. So
we've got Yuppie Pete, who clearly likes Stella.
She's being a little bit of an idiot about it, right?
Maia, yeah. And we've got
Ricky.
Class clown wannabe Ricky, who's always pulling pranks and making jokes, and no one likes him. Everyone hates his jokes and wants him dead.
Truly, okay, props to R.L. Stine for realizing that this guy's not funny.
I mean, I'm same. I was so relieved that I was not supposed to be amused by this man.
No, because I was extremely annoyed by him.
This is some eggs on eyes behavior.
Yeah.
But we're not being told that everybody, like, cracked up afterward. Everybody, like, truly, if looks could kill, Ricky would be, like, cut to shreds.
And honestly, props to Suki for just, like, outright being a bitch to him about it. Because, like, it's so fucking annoying. Like,
his jokes will suck.
His jokes suck.
And they're like that, like, sexist, creepy.
Yes.
Joking, too, where it's like, don't fight over sharing my tent with me all at once, ladies. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Like, literally, he'll be like, oh, I've got extra room in my sleeping bag for one more. And then look at the girls, and Suki will be like, I would rather fucking die than be in that fucking sleeping bag with you.
Suki's a hero.
Suki's a hero. I also loved that. So every time he's like says a joke, like in her head, Della's like, die, 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 die.
Yeah. So like Della in her head is going, die, 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 die. Suki is literally saying die to him. And then Gary is outright trying to kill him.
Gary's like, I will fulfill my mission to murder Ricky.
Actions speak louder than words is Gary's motto.
Yes. And Pete just kind of is there.
Yeah. Pete is very, according to, like, I guess just because he's so neat and put together, she thinks he's boring.
But then they go dancing, and he's a bad dancer, and she likes
really
that.
Fun. He actually really knows how to laugh at himself.
Also, you know what?
Honestly, I was like, yeah, I like him fine.
Yeah, I liked him fine. And props to her for being like, you know what? Because we know why she was so hard on him. Because he wasn't Gary.
Yeah.
But
he's very attractive.
He's hot.
Yeah, and good for Della for evolving.
Yeah.
And moving on. And not stirring up shit.
So there's like a little bit of flirting, whatever. Maya's being, she's like, guys.
Whiny little baby.
My parents will only let me go on this trip if Mr. Whatever is going to be there. And they're like, okay, great. Guess what? They go in Outdoors Club and Mr. Whatever can't go. He's like, I have an emergency family meeting. Oh, this is the other weird thing, right? So he's like, I have this emergency family meeting. Can't go. Sorry, kids. They go. When he comes back from his emergency family thing, he's like wearing cowboy boots. Why?
Because he went to Austin. Because he was there. He hit up a cowboy shop. Decided, like,
those boots are like $1,000.
It went fine. The meeting went fine, it turned out. We don't get the story because he does explain it all to them, and Della is just like so freaked by the prospect of going back to the island that nothing is making it through. No. Unfortunately, we have to experience this through Della's perspective, and so who knows?
Who knows? I was a little bit tired of Della constantly being like, ah.
Yeah, I wasn't actually a big fan of Della, but I also didn't hate her.
No.
She's just very whatever. I couldn't tell you what Della's personality is.
Just like longing, I guess. Which is like not really
Della's
a personality.
Personality is protagonist.
Yeah. Honestly, I wanted to hang out with Suki. I thought she was tight as hell. Yep. I liked her a lot.
Yep.
You know what? Actually, you know what moment I did really like as well? When they all decided to play the Zap shooting paintball game.
Mm-hmm.
The moment that Della's like, this is kind of fun. Like, when she started kind of enjoying herself, I was like, oh, I'm happy for her that she can have fun.
Shake it off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
she shoots Ricky.
And she has the gun on her. So then she kind of gets lost, and then she meets this stranger. Y'all, this guy is hot as shit.
Real weirdo.
He's very strange. But she cannot deny the sexual thrum between them.
What a thrum.
Okay, here's the thing. When I was reading their interactions, I was like, this sucks. Yeah. But the book is telling us that it's all very sexy and sexy banter. And I was like, I mean, it's nothing. Like he's being weird.
He's being so weird. And she is really trying to stay game in this as being banter. She's really trying to keep it as banter, and he just keeps making it weird. Like she says her own name, and then she says, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Oh, that's so weird. Like my name's Della too." And I was like, "Fuck this guy."
Yep.
If he won't tell you his name,
yeah. That's like truly. I was instantly like, this guy is like, he's trying to be
this
too
is a murderer.
coy. Yeah, I was like,
very
this is
clearly
a murderer.
Like off balance.
Oh yeah, because so they're trying to be flirty.
Or she is anyway.
She is.
Who knows what he's doing?
Unknown. So she's like to answer questions. And he's like, sure, ask me anything. Want to know my social security number? And then his eyes get really wide because he's challenging her. And she's like, no, he's like, want to know my height and weight, my shoe size, my mother's maiden name? So he's like getting really excited and speaking very quickly.
Yeah, he's getting agitated very easily.
And then she'll be like, oh, yeah, I think that would be very interesting. And then so she like makes a joke to try and like calm it down. And then he laughs. So he brings it back down again. And he's obviously full of shit. He's like, she goes, why are you here in the middle of the woods on Fear Island? Which also they're in Fear Island. Come on. And he's like, well, I came back, you see. And she goes, back from college? And he goes, yeah, right. Back from college. I go to BU up in Boston. And she goes, well, it's early for school to be out. And he goes, well, yeah, it's not out. I'm here on a kind of project, about trees. Lots of trees to study on the island. Weird. I'm doing my paper on tree reproduction. And she goes, reproduction? And he goes, yeah, you know what that is, don't you? And then she's like, that sounds very interesting. Why did she feel like flirting with him? She didn't know a thing about him. She didn't even know his name. And then this is when she says, I'm Della. And he goes, that's my name. And then, I mean, this part, okay, I can see how she's being a little coy. When she says, I like your jacket, and she touches it, and she goes, real vinyl, like that. I'm like, okay, that's actually kind of bantery.
Yeah.
She's flirting and is kind of bantery.
She's getting nothing back from him, though.
Okay,
except
well,
weirdness.
Yeah, in this moment, she gets 110% back from him.
Yeah.
He goes,
real weird.
You're very funny. A sense of humor is important, don't you think? I think so. Some people don't have a sense of humor. How do you deal with them? What can you do about it? Sometimes it's the only way to reach someone. When you want to reach someone and they don't know where you're coming from. Follow my meaning? And she's like, no. And then he doesn't laugh. And then he starts to go off on his jag about communication. Oh my God.
Yeah. He's gone at that point. But like even just her being like, I like your jacket. Is it real vinyl? And he goes, you're funny. I was like, yeah, that was
too
truly
intense.
Just not even a joke. That was a question.
Well, and also like like I know she was joking, right? Real vinyl. Cause it's like, you'd say like, is that real leather? So she's saying like, you're wearing a cheap jacket. So I get what she's going for. What?
I wasn't even getting that as a joke.
Oh, really? I got
it. That is a good joke. That's good banter.
Yeah, it was good banter. Yeah. And he could have a normal thing to respond with is like something, a little jest back or something. Not like, you're funny.
I like a sense of humor. A sense of humor is important. If somebody doesn't have a sense of humor, how do you communicate with them? You probably just like have to fucking kill them.
Just like I killed that old man. I mean, didn't kill that old man.
And then he does start going on about this old man. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, get out of there.
Yeah. And she does try.
She does try.
I have to get back to camp.
She does also successfully shoot him in the eyes with the paint.
Mm-hmm. Good for her.
Because these are not paintball guns, to be clear. These are like squirty guns.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the other part. I am going to criticize Della.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know how she leaves the zap gun on his body? So she pushes him into a cliff or off of a cliff and
into a ravine.
She goes down there, feels for his pulse. It's not there. Gets up, realizes that people are staring at her. It's her friends. So then Gary goes down. It's Gary, right? Or is it Steve?
I think it is Gary.
Okay, Gary goes down, feels the body, and he's like, I don't feel a pulse
there
either.
Is no Steve, by the way.
Right. It's just Gary and Suki, right?
I think it's Gary, Suki, and
Ricky.
It's just Ricky and Maya.
Oh, okay, okay. And then they call
then Gary
them over.
shows up.
Yeah. So then Gary goes down there and he's like, oh, his body is cold. Here's my question. So a couple things. One, where the twist is this guy has a medical condition that makes it so you can't feel his pulse.
Mm-hmm.
But why does it make his body so cold that they think it's a dead body?
I think it's just cold out and they don't know what they're doing.
He's like, I'm cold.
They don't know what they're talking about.
I'm cold. I think he's dead.
They're fucking teenagers.
And then
probably like, I don't know, his skin was cold.
That's the other thing. They are teenagers. They're huge idiots. They're like, oh my God, we need to hide the body. Let's throw leaves on top of it.
Yeah, pathetic.
But
they also think they're the only ones on the island.
They needed to chop this guy up into tiny pieces and like feed him to the gulls or something.
Or at the very least, like actually bury him.
Not just throw leaves on him. Mm-hmm. This is another thing. All of this shit could have been avoided if they had buried him.
Yeah, because he would have fought back at that point.
Yeah, and then they would know he's alive.
Yeah. They're children. They don't know what they're doing.
No.
Instead, they just throw leaves on him, stay the rest of the night because they can't go back early because people would be suspicious. Maya's fucking freaking out about it. Gary institutes a pact.
Yeah. He's like, we can't tell anybody about what happened here. So they're like, fine.
And then they go home. And then it's like somebody's following them.
Yeah, someone's following them. Someone's like scaring them.
Following them, knocking on the door.
When they tried to take a picture of him and instead took a picture of a screen door, I was like, these are idiots. They deserve to die.
Yes.
So they keep getting these knocks on the door and they're like, ugh. And then every time they open the door, he's gone. So then they wait by the door, knock, 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 fling open the door, take a picture with a Polaroid camera.
It's like, I'm sorry, did you not see the screen door was there the other times you opened the door?
I know.
Come on.
So then it's just the screen door. It's not him.
I guess he just thought it was going to take the photo through the screen.
Idiot. But you're like talking about the flash, whatever. Yeah, they're all idiots.
They're all idiots. They're all idiots. They're like, what actually happened is these are people who can't socialize with others.
Yeah, this is why they're in
and
the
they got
outdoor
put
club.
into a quote unquote outdoor club together.
Yeah. The school administrators were like, we need to do something about these kids.
Yeah,
Let's put them
to just like
in.
Find some kind of community for these kids. They're like untethered from the rest of the school.
Yeah. Let's give them some kind of group.
Mm-hmm.
What could they like? I don't know. The outdoors, we're all in it all the time. Okay. So, they end up having to go back to the island.
Because Mr. Abner comes back and insists on a reschedule of the trip that he had canceled, to his mind. And they agree because Ricky realizes that Della left his zap gun on the island and it could be like connected to him if it's found by the body.
Which honestly, I agree. I was like, you do need to go and get rid of that zap
and
gun.
Good on Della for being like, you know what, this is my responsibility.
Yeah.
I will go back and get it. You guys don't have to be a part of this. And they're like, no, we made a pact. And I was like, you know what? These kids are stupid, but they're good.
Yeah, I was like,
Maia.
yeah. I thought they were good kids, except for Maia. So then they end up going on this trip, and Mr. Abner gets bonked on the head. So then Maya's like taking care of him. Della is chased by another guy. She can't find the body.
Mr. Abner got bonked. Ricky heads off the island in a canoe to get medical help.
Yes.
So he goes and gets like the authorities.
And turns out it was a team of two guys that went and killed an old man to try and steal his money. Turned out the guy had no money that they could steal. So
we thought that it was just that dude's partner after them. But no, the dude himself survived the fall into the ravine.
Because he had a medical condition that makes him have a weak pulse. Therefore, he survived the fall into the ravine.
Well, therefore they thought he was dead.
Yeah.
His weak pulse is not why he survived the fall.
No. He just happened to survive.
That is open for debate.
A miracle. He was touched by an angel.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I don't know. Then it's the end. Then the cops come.
The cops come just in the nick of time when he's like threatening them all.
Yeah. And they're like, wow, I can't believe we all survived.
And I'm like, me neither.
Truly, miracles upon miracles.
Mm-hmm. And
they were able to survive.
Della and Pete are dating, and that's the end.
That's the end of the fucking book. Okay, positive about this book, extremely short.
Love a short book.
Extremely short.
Very short. I did read it in 2 sittings because I just couldn't.
As did I.
Continue.
I could not push through.
Which is very rare for me.
But I will
read
say,
it like a couple nights before we were going to record, and I was like, you know what? Why torture myself?
Yeah, you got time.
Yeah.
But all in all, I would say probably like under an hour total of reading time. It's a very quick one.
So like I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it is also a fast read.
Yeah.
And there's some funny stuff.
I wouldn't say definitely skip it. There are some funny things that happen. Like a man
to meet Suki for the first time.
Yeah, and I liked Suki. Wait, so who is Okay, even if you look at the cover, she looks like fucking Misty. Maia.
It's true, she's wearing glasses.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see who's paired up with who, right? So Suki's on the left with her spiky platinum blonde hair with Gary.
Long dark-haired Della in the middle.
And she's like holding the tummy of Steve.
His name is Pete.
Oh my God. What?
You keep saying Steve. You have said Steve so many, and I corrected you already.
Yeah, you're like, there is no Steve. And I was I don't believe you. I thought you meant
should be.
Okay,
Steve.
when you said there is no Steve, I thought you meant Steve wasn't there when she pushed him in the ravine. I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, duh, he wasn't there.
There's no character named Steve, you nut.
Sorry. Okay, so her and Pete. Okay, so she's holding Pete's tummy, and Pete looks like Rick Moranis, a la, I want to say, Down on Skid Row. What's that movie?
Oh, in Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah. He looks like that age, Rick Moranis to me. He does look like he's in his 30s.
He does. I guess the firelight is not being kind to the shadows on his face.
So then do you mean to tell me that that's Maia and Ricky?
That's Maia and Ricky, except that like they're never paired off.
Never.
Ricky is never a love interest. There's a lot of fat shaming of Ricky going on. That is
it's
definitely
not great.
A drawback of the book as well.
Yeah.
That we didn't talk about. Because I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately Ricky is never Ricky is never painted as a love interest for anybody.
And
He's
neither
also
is
got
Maia.
a bad personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and neither is Maia because she also has a bad personality.
Yeah. I will say,
she's wearing some Misty glasses.
She's wearing Misty glasses. There's also a part. Okay, this is another thing that frustrated me about Della is that she's often like in the woods, knows that she's being pursued, and then she's like, Pete,
and then calls out her place.
Yes, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah,
just be fucking
Stop
quiet.
Up your spot.
Yeah, if it's Pete, he'll find you. Don't worry. Or Steve.
Steve could be anywhere.
There is no Steve.
There's no Steve.
I know. Lindsay, God. He's not in that scene.
I know. I never said he was there. Present. He's elsewhere. Steve was doing something else in that moment. I never said he wasn't.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I would say go ahead and read it. That's what I say.
Yeah, it's
Matthew.
Sneeze. It's not. It's skippable, but not a must skip.
Right. So that's the overnight. More fun to talk about than to read. Yes. Definitely,
as usual.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and for. Oh, hey, we're on Spotify now, or we've been on Spotify, but you can rate podcasts on Spotify. So if you listen to us on Spotify, hit us up with a 5-star.
Yeah,
and you don't even have to. You don't even have to write a review. You just have to click how many stars. Super easy. That will help us a lot. I want to see a bunch of ratings come in. That'll make me very happy.
I am trying to find my Patreon producers list, and it's not coming up in my notes. What's going on here?
What if I just deleted it? That would JK. I didn't.
It's right here. It's right here on my phone. Why isn't it on my computer? Whatever. Whatever. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening and supporting the podcast. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you would like to become a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/teencreeps. Special shout out to our Patreon producers at the $15 level. Aaron Fernandez,
Adam Howitz,
Amanda Nangle,
Amy T,
Ann Dwyer,
Ashley Fritz,
Brian Petty II,
Caitlin L,
Claire Moore,
Courtney McPhail,
Danielle Amana,
Danny B,
Drew Waranis,
Emma,
Aaron B,
Gabriela Santiago,
Gianna Fernandez,
Gwendolyn Ludovic,
Jeremy Kronk,
Jeremy Goodfellow and Marco Pavlicic,
Jessica Smith-Harper,
Jessica Yu,
Jonathan Venable,
Karen Lewis,
Kat Miller,
Katie Lilly,
Katie Olsner,
Keith Anderson,
Kelly Burns,
Kodiak S,
Chris Dorina,
Landry Desmond,
Larry Nguyen,
Laura Hooper,
Luke Bartek,
Max B,
Megan Lozier,
Melody,
Micah Eunice,
Miguel Camacho,
Miranda Hester,
Molly G,
Molly Marks,
Noah Spargo,
Rachel Bassert,
Randy Klett,
Rebecca Goss,
Rogue Kalahua,
Saoirse Descaro,
Sarah Wallen,
Sasha Gibson,
Sylvie T,
Tristan Buckner,
Victoria Beck,
Victoria Gray,
and Victoria Valdez. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you. We will see you next week when we are reading
Witch's Key to Terror by Silver Ravenwolf.
Fun.
Yeah.
So we'll see you then. In the meantime, stay safe out there, man.
Yeah, dude.
Ugh, that Omicron is going to get us. We're all going to get Omicron.
Yeah.
We're just going to get it.
It is what it is. But yeah, try and be safe and get vaccinated if you can.
Get boosted as a way to lessen the severity.
Yeah, get boosted, dude, because that's really important.
Yep. That immunity wanes.
Yeah.
But vaccines work.
They do.
I mean, obviously not. You could still
No, but they're effective
if you get
that.
vaccines. But the vaccines are effective.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. See you next time. Keep it creepy.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Kelly Nugent, Lindsay Katai, Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.